pleasant evening to you from yours truly, Tosin Adeyemi. I welcome you specially to another thrilling episode of Amazing Amazon, where we get to discuss with important female personalities. So, call your friends, your brother, sister, neighbors, and say it's Amazing Amazon o'clock. Yes, it is another moment to get inspired and motivated. My guest for today is a very hardworking and enterprising lady of style. She is into fabric business, and she's been in this fabric industry for a very long time. I must say that she's someone that her story will inspire you. So let's go meet her girl. Alright, welcome back to the interview segment. I told you today we'll take a twist. So today my guest is Mrs. Fatia Titilola Masha. So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
It's a privilege to be seated with you.
You're welcome.
And you're really glowing. You look beautiful.
There's
another one for me, stunning,
thank
amazing,
you.
elegant.
You're flattering me.
I'm not. I'm saying the obvious.
Thank you.
Yes. So what's the secret of your good looks? Let me start from there.
Peace of mind. Inner peace of mind. That's the only one word, one secret.
So peace of mind. Okay, so let's start with you. Growing up, how would you describe your childhood growing up?
My childhood was a very fantastic one. I've always lived a very good and over-comfortable life due to my parents. They've been wonderful all through my growing up days. Like, I wouldn't have asked for a better mother or a better father. My parents made sure everything we wanted was to our satisfaction. But one thing about my both parents, they're very strict.
Very strict.
Very, very strict. My daddy, a disciplinarian. My mom, I really do not know how to describe my mom, but she's a no-nonsense woman. They're so strict to the extent that they have time for the children. After school, the lesson teacher is right there waiting. When we get back from school, we eat. After we take off our school uniform, we have lunch. Immediately after lunch, the lesson teacher is there waiting for us.
There was no time to play around at all.
No time to play. It got to a point that my dad was like, because actually my father is actually more or less like an Islamic scholar.
Okay.
He has an Arabic school in which, Muslim children are being coached. So he made sure we went to one. Every Saturday, when we get back from the Arabic school, he will call myself and my brothers and say, now come here, sit down, start reading for me. What did you learn from
the Arabic school?
The Arabic school today. My daddy will go to the extent of saying, you can't read this and you can play. You love to play, especially you, Fatia. Your brothers are better than you. And my brain wasn't picking up. It got to a stage whereby it would be like, I'm going to seize all these nice clothes of yours. I really want you to learn how to read the Holy Quran. Your brothers are better than you. I tried and tried and tried. Then the news of me getting into a boarding school occurred But I didn't want to go to a boarding house because I'm like, what's going to happen to all this my, home enjoyment? And I told my dad, I said, Daddy, you know what? I don't think I'll be able to make boarding school. He said, Fatia, why? I said, because I don't want to miss my Arabic lessons. It was like that you don't know how to read anything. You just want to make an excuse.
Excuse, yes.
All because, but
all because they want to go.
That didn't work out anyways.
Okay.
Well, my parents are very, very loving, very caring. They listen to us, the children. And when they see the path in which we're leading on is not fine, they give you back a self-check and tell you, no, this is not the way to go about things. People who know my parents will tell you, Alaji and Alaja, they're very strict.
And they don't take nonsense.
They don't. Very policy people. Their yes is their yes. Their no is their no. So I think myself and my brothers, we actually got that from them. My parents are this kind of parents that really want their children to study hard because they're very hardworking. I learned hard work from them.
I was about to ask that.
Yeah, because my father used to work at the Saudi Arabian embassy.
Okay.
Very disciplined, he keeps to time. My father's 9 o'clock is his 9 o'clock. It's 10:30 is his 10:30. Back to my mom, same thing. I think they were both made for each other.
Exactly.
So, when they gel together, everything seems to work out fine. They cooperate a lot on the children. They listen. My mom is the kind of a mother that when she will ask you now, tell me, what is it you don't like? What do I do to you that makes you angry? And I'll be like, Mommy, are you serious? She'll be like, yes, tell me, I want to know so that I can change. And I'm like, Mommy, I don't like this, I'll do like this. She'll say, okay, I'm sorry. The next moment I do something wrong, you find out that everything I've told my mommy I don't like is what she will now use to abuse me the more.
Why?
I'll be like, Mommy, but you just called me and asked me. You won't. She said, yes, I need to use those things to abuse you because I know you don't like them. So when you want to do something wrong and you think of what I will say to you, you won't be able to do those things. I'll be like, okay, no problem, Mommy. So
that's a good parenting skill. And I think parents of this generation should adopt that method.
Let me tell you something. Now I have 4 children. My mother still sees me like I'm still an 8-year-old child. She still sees me like a baby. She still scolds me. When I'm outside till like 9 p.m., my mom will be calling, Fatia, Ibolowa, where are you? You're not supposed to be out by this time. She still monitors me. My parents still have a very strong hold on me.
Till date.
Till date. So I can't just do anything. I can't just go out in public and just behave anyhow because I know I have someone that can be reported to. And I wouldn't want the situation whereby my mom will call me and say, I'm so disappointed in you. Did I train you this way? Because other people are doing this and they're succeeding doesn't mean you will succeed.
Yeah.
Like I told you, they are disciplined people. Disciplined. And they're still disciplined to date. You know something?
Tell me.
The way my mom brought me up is the same way
you're training your children.
My mom, is training my children. She's training my children very well for me. I do train my children, right? I'm a bit strict. But when you're a bit strict, people call it arrogance. Right? When you have policy, people call it arrogance. When you tell people the truth, it's like you're insulting them.
I would say that the fear that your parents instilled on you while you were younger is what is helping you and has brought you this far.
Yeah, this far.
Yeah. And compared to this generation, I don't think, okay, let me assume that very few parents will be able to scold or discipline their children the way your parent did for you. Because look at it now, it's so obvious that the training you got while growing up is what you have been building upon and has helped you thus far. So I just hope that parents can adopt that skill your mom adopted.
You know
by
why?
asking their children, what is it you don't like?
Okay, exactly. And do you know why that is easy for them to have so much control over me? You know why?
Yeah.
They listen to their kids.
That's one thing that is missing in this
And
generation.
another thing is that they provide. I know fingers are not equal,
Sure.
right? But when you have kids, the little you can do, you do. Not everything I ask my parents to do, they do.
Okay.
Despite the fact that they can do them, but they're like, it's not everything you want that you get. What if some days, there's some days that are 100% okay. There are some days that things are a bit, shaky. You understand what I'm saying?
How would you be able to
How would you be able to cope
in trying times?
in
like
trying times when it occurs? You understand? So it was more of like on a scale of 1 to 100, it was more of like 70-30. More of what you want, 30% of what she wouldn't give.
Okay, so let's talk about who are the greatest influence on you while growing up?
The greatest influence.
Yes.
I'll say, the greatest influence. I'll say both of my parents. But my daddy really liked me so much. He liked me. And people believe my father is always on my side. Even when situations occur, when you report to my dad that Titi has done this, my daddy will say, okay, I'm so sorry she did this. But right now, I can't be judgmental. I need to hear from a side of story. But if you go to my mom will say, oh my God, Fatia Shebai. The next thing, she doesn't want to know. She's like, for this person to have come to report, what did you do to that person to have come to report? Like I told you, I do not like this kind of, attitude. My mom was more of, the Margaret Thatcher. And she's still the Margaret Thatcher.
How old is your mom now?
My mom is 75.
Wow. At that age?
Yeah, she still looks very well.
Wow.
You can't tell she's 75.
I can tell from
Very
you.
agile.
From you, I can tell. I can imagine. All right. So, if you could turn back the hands of time, what is it you would have done differently or changed?
You can't have it all in life.
Yeah.
Life is not a bed full of roses, ups and downs. So whichever way life comes, you just, move on.
If I ask myself the same question, I'll say, what I would have changed or done differently is to have learned a skill before going to tertiary institution.
No, really?
Yes, because it will help me.
Yes,
it will help me more. And even after school, while waiting for job, at least with the skills you've learned, you would at least be making do with that.
Exactly, you're right right about that.
Yes.
You're really correct.
Yes. So that's what I would have done differently if I could turn back the hands of time. So now let's talk about you now. How did you start this fabric business? How?
Okay, my mom does this business. My mom is into this business, so it's like a family business. Okay. And she has always told me from my growing up days that this is what I want you to do.
Really?
But as a child, I tell my mom, no, I want to be a lawyer. She was like, okay, fair enough, no problem. So after I finished school, my secondary school, in University of Lagos, ISL, after my school session, I went to London to study. I did my foundation course in Bellaby's College in Old Brighton, a 9-month course. After that, I proceeded to my uni, Coventry University, where I studied law.
Okay.
I actually did study law, and my mom was watching, right? She didn't say anything to me.
Go on, please yourself.
Please yourself. After I finished from London, I was coming home. I think I graduated in November then. No. We finished school in July, right? So graduation was in November. Every holiday, she doesn't allow me to stay back in London. She flies me back home. Like I told you, she's very disciplined. They fly me back home to Lagos. The only time I'm allowed to spend holiday in London is during Easter, because it's just for a very short period. But when it's summer and Christmas holiday, I'm back to Lagos, Nigeria. So I went back for my graduation in November. We went back together for graduation. And I was hoping to stay back. And my mom was like, now, Titi, so what do you want to do? I said, I'm going to proceed. She said, yeah, you proceed. But I want you to come home. Then you come back to London. I said, okay. Immediately I got back home. Next thing she was like, you need to serve.
Serve? Okay.
Yeah, I said, Mommy, why do I need to serve? She said, you need to serve. You might want to practice law in Nigeria. And without you going for NYSC, there's no way. I said, okay. And she has this very close friend, Alhaja Rashida Tokoya.
Okay.
You know, our kids and myself, we all went to the same Bellerbys, you know, our foundation college. We flew to Abuja together because, you know, everyone that schooled abroad then, you have to serve in Abuja.
Okay.
So we decamped back to Lagos. And, you know, we started NYC and everything. After NYC, they're like, you have to do... There's something else you have to do after... Is it internship or something?
Yes.
After NYC? I'm
no,
like...
PPA, I guess.
I can't remember very well, but I know there's something else. You have to like... Okay, work experience.
Work experience. Okay,
so I now told my mom, I said, I'm done. Why work experience again? She said, just complete everything that you have to do in
Only
Lagos.
that she had a plan.
Listen, my dad... Like I said, my dad said, don't worry. My dad now took me to the local council in Surulere.
Okay.
And my mom was like, well, Titi, let me be honest with you. We just sent you abroad to have wide exposure and knowledge. We don't have it in mind for you to serve anybody. You're going to sell fabrics. I'm like, Mommy, no, I don't want to sell fabrics. I'm looking forward into being a son in future. She was like, you will be a son if you want to. But this fabric, I said, Mommy, why? I'm the only daughter.
Okay.
Right? I said, Mom, no, I don't want to. She was like, you have to. I'm like, I have to. She said, yes, you have to. She now said, okay. And I said, Mommy, for now, I don't want to sell lace. I don't like the lace business. That was what I was telling my mom. I said people who sell lace, they are ras. They are like alajas. No, I don't want to. She was like, okay, no problem. So what do you want to do? I said, I have a plan B. I'd like to have a beautiful boutique. She said, boutique? Okay. I said, yes. Now, my mom now called me and said, where do you want to shop from? I said, I want to go back to London. And you know, a lot of people always say, Titi's mom loves her so much. Yes, she does. And she was like, when do you intend to fly? I said, when you buy my ticket, whichever day you say. The first money I ever got in my life for business was from my mom. She gave me £4,000. Oh. I finished school 2000, the millennium year. She gave me £4,000. £4,000 then was a lot of money. I'm like, what? £4,000? Not that not that I've not seen £4,000 before. Like I said back in school, I had everything. I had everything I wanted. I never lacked everything. Even my allowance then was, you know, kind of huge and everything. But you know, for like, you know, a young girl like me to start business,
And with that amount of money.
With that amount of money, that was a lot of money, right? So I traveled back to London. Fortunately for me, when I got to London, that period they were doing a lot of sales and they called it the monster sale.
Okay.
Like everything was ridiculously priced down. I started shopping. I did a lot of shopping of about 3,000. I still had 1,000 pounds with me, which I kept. I got back home, coming to pick me from the airport, you know, I had so many suitcases and everything. So the first business I started with was selling like tops, jeans, you know, shoes, blah, 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 blah. A funny incident occurred.
Before you share the funny incident, let's take let's take a short break right now. I'm very sure that you have more to give us, and we are ready for you. All right, viewers, stay with us to take a time out to be back shortly. All right, welcome back. It's still the interview segment. Yeah, before the break, you were making an analysis of something, so you can pick up.
Yeah, so I said a funny incident occurred. Like I started selling, and I was happy. And I said to myself, I'm a young millionaire. Right? Because I was selling, friends were bringing friends, people were bringing people all over, people were coming to shop with me. I was really happy. So my mom was like, Fatia, I've always traveled with her to Switzerland and Austria. That is where we get most of our fabrics from. Okay. She was like, Fatia, I will be traveling and you're coming with me. I said, okay. You know, my mom already knows what she has in mind. Like, she knew you're going into the business segment. So I said, okay, when we got to Switzerland, and I've known most of the manufacturers because I'd always traveled with her, myself and my brothers. We travel with her, then we make exits to London, America, you know, so we're like really familiar with most of the manufacturers there. So then I remember I bought some male fabrics and my mom was so happy that, oh, what a good turnover. My daughter is doing well. She was really, really happy. I bought quite some fabrics, you know. When we got back to Lagos, I started selling because actually when I was in secondary school, she actually got a shop. Okay. And she said she got the shop because of me, that when I finished from school. But then she used to put all her fabrics there. Okay. When it's holiday time, if I'm not out of the country, I'm in the shop selling. You know, when I get back from London, I'll be in the shop selling. You know, I started getting to meet different people, different customers. Yeah. I was actually doing the male fabrics, you know. Along the line, I met an auntie. That auntie used to sell jewelry. Okay. And I'm a lover of jewelry. Instead of me, you know, saving my money, I really got excited. All the money I made, I started buying jewelry. Jewelry? I started buying jewelry. I started buying jewelry. I started buying jewelry. So the next trip, my mom was like, we're traveling this date. I said, okay, no problem. We now got to Switzerland. My mom was like, now, Fatia, so what are you buying? And I said, Mommy. She said, what? I said, I don't really have I'm not buying much. She said, you're not buying much. Why are you not buying much?
Don't you have
I
the
said,
money?
Don't you? Why are you not buying much? I said, not really. And I took some things out. And when they actually gave me the price, and I told my mom that I have just $500 with me, she was like, what? What do you mean? $500 with you? The last time we came here, you know how much goods you bought? Yeah. What did you do with the money? Trust my mom. From every manufacturer's office we went to, she was insulting me back to back. In Switzerland, Austria, she was insulting me back to back. What did you use the money to do? So you didn't tell her you bought jewelry with the money? Actually, my mom used to buy me a lot of jewelry, right? So I had so much jewelry. She didn't even notice whether I was wearing a lot of jewelry, but she didn't even notice whether it was the one she bought for me or the one. We got back to Lagos and she was like, where is the jewelry? But she said, you bought this much. Who is this person selling this to you? I want to know the lady. The moment she said, I want to know the lady, I'm like, oh my God, is this not trouble? My mom said, I want to meet this lady. My mom eventually met the lady. I won't mention the lady's name. You know what my mom told her? She said, you're not a nice woman. If this girl were to be your daughter and she's buying this much from you, and you didn't ask her where she got this money from, how old is this girl? She's too little. And you know, my mom's like, you know this jewelry, I'm going to collect everything.
Wow.
I'm going to pawn them.
Really?
I said, Mom. She said, yes. I'm going to pawn everything. She did. She collected everything.
And she burnt it?
No, not burnt. Pawn.
Okay, pawn. Okay.
That I'm going to sell all this jewelry off to somebody.
Okay.
She saw somebody going to Italy. She gave everything. She said, Lord, gold you for me. My mom now called me. She now spoke to me at length. How do you expect to grow doing this? 4,000 pounds. You made so much money from it. The first trip you could buy. The second trip, $500. Is this life? Gold is vanity. You know what vanity means? That's what she was telling me. She was like, gold is vanity. You really shamed. I mean, that moment was not a good moment. So she was like, nah, I see you're interested in gold. You want to do gold business? I said, yes. She said, if I make you start selling jewelry, right, you take your eyes for the love of jewelry. Like I told you, my mom, she's a disciplinarian. She's got foresight. Again, the money they brought from all the jewelry they pawned. She said, now, where do you want to go to? So an auntie took me to Dubai. I went there, I saw gold. I was tired of seeing gold. She was like, you see, if you buy this time, you will always want to buy. So I started the jewelry business, right? Yeah. So when I started the jewelry business, it was going on really fine. It was going on excellent. I was also meeting people. So people that I sell jewelry to would now start asking me, do you have this kind of fabric for women? I'll say, but you know mommy has now. Why don't you buy from mommy? And mom now said, now that people are asking you, why don't you start buying with your own money? So from there, that's how I started. I ventured into the fabric business.
So for how long now?
22 years.
Wow, 22 years. That's
I finished
that's
school,
a long time.
Yes, I finished school millennium year 2000. So I think that's about how many years ago?
2000.
Yeah.
20. That's you're correct.
Yeah. So we're in 2022 now. So 22 years.
Wow. That's a very long time. Now, I know that starting this business must be a great one, a great move. And your mom has a great influence
on me.
On you. I can see that. Really, I can see that the business line, the business aspect, even if parents can give their children attention, I believe it will go a long way in that child's life. And that is what has just happened to you right now. So this is a message to all parents. Yes, you have a role to play in the life of your child, and the influence you need to impact on your children must be positive, so that that child can be proud of you. You are proud of your mom today.
Very proud of my parents.
Very proud. So we have some children that are not proud of their parents, and they'll look back. There was someone that told me that if my dad had done this, my life would not be like this. So we're seeing people say that. So this is to say that parents, they have a major role to play in the life of their children. Now, looking at this fabric business, I know there are lots of people doing these fabrics online, offline, how do you deal with competition? Like, how do you stand out? Talking about competition.
Well, competition has always been in existence.
Yeah.
You see, first of all, you need to love what you're doing. If you don't love what you're doing, you'll be defeated. For instance, now we're living the world of social media, right?
Yeah.
If you look at the social media world, you never grow, you never make it, because there's actually a lot of pretense on social media. You find
Make believe.
exactly, you exactly. But if you want to be in a business, right, is either you choose the social life or the business life. You can't do the two at the same time.
Can you break it down?
I'll break it down
Social
for
life,
you.
business life.
See, the social life, when you go on Instagram and you see this person wearing this, you see that person wearing that, we're all human. You want to wear too. Some people cannot even afford it, right? And you actually buy, like you actually spend more money on social things than investing in your business. What I'm trying to say now is that you have 300,000 with you. Your whole business money is 300,000. And you see somebody dressed up worth 500,000. There's a possibility for you, if you know people that can sell to you on credit, and you dress that way, and you have just 300,000, and you want to meet up with somebody that is dressed up 500,000. How do you expect to balance that? Your mind will never be at peace. Your mind will never be at rest. Because the date you tell the person that sold to you on credit, the person will finally come and pull you. And by that time, if they start chasing you, and if you are somebody that has shame, you just transfer the whole 300,000. So what are you left with? Nothing. So first of all, you need to love what you're doing. Your business has to be your passion. When your business is your passion, you know that, yes, I need to satisfy my customers. I want my customers to see new things all the time. Then you move away. You don't get carried away with the social life.
What makes you different? What makes you unique from other fabric sellers?
Well, I would say I'm a one-woman mopo. One. Number two, I don't keep friends. I know who my friends are.
Okay.
You can't be in a business like this and keep friends. You won't be focused. You'll be distracted.
And they might want to ruin your business, like buying on credit.
Exactly.
Yes, buying on credit.
You'll be distracted.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying? That is why, see, some people will tell you, oh, when you go and meet her, she's arrogant, she's proud. If you don't give people the opportunity to get to you, they say you're arrogant, they say you're proud. You understand? But if you have a goal set in life, I listen to my own instincts. I don't do what other people are doing. For instance now, when I'm going for a party, I like to be simple and glamorous. I like my rambuba. You won't see me wearing top and wrapper because I love my comfort. You understand me? A lot of people can't even wear rambuba. Reason
some can't even tidy.
Best known to them, different people with different reasons.
Yeah.
Right? I don't buy ashwebi.
Really?
But I only wear ashwebi when I produce for somebody. When you buy ashwebi from me.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? If you really love me so much, you want me to attend your party, and you take ashwebi, you will give me. If
What that you buy?
I won't use I'm a fabric seller. Do you expect me to now start buying ashwebi? When I sell fabrics, you see me there, you're not coming to buy fabric for me. You're not going to do fabric for somewhere else. You're not bringing for me for ashwebi. Different strokes for different folks, like I said. You understand? For me to take Asoebi for someone, like to help somebody buy Asoebi, that means that person is somebody that is really, really close to me. I'm not a very social person. I'm very, very antisocial. But when you see me partying, maybe my customers that have patronized me, but you won't just see me in a party for no reason. I don't do it.
Have you ever had an experience of toxic customers that they come and tell you, oh no, this doesn't worth it. How can this be this expensive?
You see, one thing I've come to realize is that so many people don't know about fabrics. There are different grades of fabrics. I've experienced a lot of that before. So many people don't know about fabrics. And there's something called quality control, right? I've had some bad times with some customers that will call me and say, you sold this thing for me for 50,000 and I actually saw it somewhere for 20,000. You're cheating me. You are that. You're a rip-off. You're blah, blah, blah. At first, I really used to feel bad. But as time went on, I was like, I'm always able to like convince them. I said, see, let me tell you something. When I'm talking to some customers, I will tell them that even Chanel bags, they have the replica. Gucci, they have the replica, right? Louis Vuitton, Christian Dior, everything has the replica. Even the rice we eat, there is replica. Even there is replica of Gari Ijebu. And I always tell customers that before you actually talk this far, have you compared my fabric with the lower price
quality
fabric? Like, did you put them side to side? I sell a lot of luxury. I sell a lot of luxury fabrics. I sell what I can wear. I won't sell what I won't wear. Like I said, there's something called quality control. You see some people, they have very sensitive skin, right?
Yeah.
When they wear some fabrics, they have all this allergy on their body. So when I'm buying fabrics from manufacturers, I know who I'm shopping with. But because there's some high-end fabrics that people like, some people cannot afford them, fingers are not equal.
Yeah.
Some people will do the low quality one. But because some people don't know about fabrics, they don't even take their time, even in pictures, to study the designs. There is no way something that is 100% perfect will be the same quality as something that is 95% perfect. That 5% would always show. But because some customers don't know, you just have to calm down and explain to them. But some customers don't even want to listen.
So apart from these toxic customers, are there other challenges in this business of fabrics?
Exchange rates.
That's
killing the business. Honestly, I won't lie to you.
Okay, so for someone who wants to start like going to fashion business, because just like you said that you don't make friends, you don't have so much friends like that, because I've seen people say that they'll start a business and their friends will be the ones to like ruin it, that they'll buy on credits, family members, don't you know me, I'm your sister's uncle, brothers, relatives, blah blah blah. They try to ruin the business. So now with your experience, like over 20 years experience in this fabric line.
22.
Yeah, that was I said over. Okay, 22 years precisely. Okay, what would be your advice to someone who wants to go into this fabric business?
Actually, business is not supposed to be for friends. You don't open a business because of your friends. Not all your friends will patronize you. You even find out that the friends you have will not even buy from you. They will go somewhere else and buy. It's only the people that love you genuinely that will patronize you.
Yeah.
You open business to serve anybody in need of what you're selling. Like I said, you need to have a passion for what you're doing. If you don't have that passion, then that business is going to die.
Okay, you know, when you want to start this fabric business, for instance, like the lowest capital you can start with.
Believe me, to be honest with you, do you want me to be honest with you?
Yes, be sincere.
Do you know that you can start a fabric business as low as 50,000 naira with a lot of patience? It's just like somebody walking into my store now and speaks to me, which has happened. A lot of young girls come to me and they tell me, Auntie, I see you on Instagram, you inspire me. I have a lot of people that come to me and say that. I have a lot of messages on my DMs. I want to start fabric business. Some people even tell me I have 100,000 naira with me. What can you sell to me? I always have a lot of self-pity for a lot of people, right? And I'll say, okay, now let me give you at the cost price.
Cost price?
That's if I want to render help to somebody.
Okay.
I can give it to them at the cost price. And I'll even collect the clearing fee just to help. But even if you're not helping, there are so many people that do wholesales and they sell all these low budget fabrics.
Okay.
If you go to them with 100,000, you will buy. If you're able to buy 10, if you're able to buy 8 pieces, all you need to tell them just that, I'm selling you. They say, which color do you have? I say, that color, I've sold it to somebody's business tragedy. Sure you understand? For young people, sure you understand what I'm saying? If you buy something for 8K, depending on who you want to sell to, and you're really focused, you get what I'm saying? You can start turning that money over and over. As you're selling, you're going back.
Okay.
Rome wasn't built in a day. You start from somewhere. We see people that start business. Some people say, I start a business so with 20,000 naira, see me today. It really happens. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It really happens. So when you're really focused, and see, determination is what helps a business. When you're really
determined.
To be determined, focus. Not that you're watching, that my neighbor, see all the customers that is coming to her. No. If you are doing that, then you're running a race.
Yes.
A race you will never meet. Because your neighbor, you don't know how long your neighbor has been doing that business. You don't know who is supporting your neighbor.
Exactly.
So, yes, you can have some people that will inspire you. Right, don't get me wrong. But self-determination
It's key.
is the key. That's the secret to it.
So as low as 50,000 naira, you can start this fabric business.
You
based
can.
on your determination.
And based on the kind of clientele you have.
Okay, I really agree with what you said, because there's someone who even started a shoe business with zero amounts of money. Do you know what she did? She said, she would just go to stores like this, take pictures of what they have, and post it on her Instagram, on her social media page, and people start demanding for it. She'll come there, buy, tell the vendor that, I will have my share of it, or I'll have a percentage. And that was how she started. She started like that.
That is what is called focus and determination. That's the sole key. Without those two things, forget it.
Thank you so much. I think this is what I'll go home with today. Self-determination and focus. Thank you so much for your time on the show. I really enjoyed every bit of our conversation, and I wish it doesn't end, but we have to go now because of our time. All right, I hope you've learned one or two things from Mrs. Titilola Masha, speaking on how you can start a fabric business. Yes, fabric business is known to the female gender alone, right? I've not seen any male doing this fabric business.
No, there was some. Well, from the stories I heard while growing up, mostly men. my father's friend used to do this business, but it's kind of, it's grown now. He was one of the fabric gurus then.
Okay.
Very popular, well known. But now mostly the new generations,
yes,
nobody's really doing the fabric thing like that, Now I think the business is left for, women.
Women, yes. So this is how you can grow in your business, whatever you're doing. And if you want to start a fabric business, even you can start with any amount of money. So there is no excuse for you at all if you want to become a fabric seller. So, all right, this is where we wrap up the interview segment. We'll take a short break. I'll be back. Yes, that was a lovely conversation with Mrs. Titilola Masha, speaking on how she started out a fabric business. Yes, you can always start somewhere. So this is the much we can take for today's episode of Amazing Amazon. So till I come your way again next time, I remain yours, Tosin Adeyemi. Bye for now.